Mr. Virendra Chhabra is with us now, and we'll start now. Uh, he'll be sharing his tips and tricks about last minute preparation, numericals, organic chemistry, inorganic chemistry, and he'll be discussing important topics in the end as well. He has more than 20 years of experience, and many of his students have gone to score 90, 95 plus in boards. With a PG in specialization in organic chemistry from MDU, I guess he is the perfect guy who can help you out with your last minute preparation for chemistry. So that's about it, guys. Over to Mr. Virendra now.
Hi friends, I'm here not to teach you chemistry. I just want to give you my tips on how to study for the exam and how to score better marks by attempting the question paper in a better way. First of all, I would like you to know how to prepare for the exam. So here, let me tell you about the marks distribution for class 12th. As you can see, the physical chemistry that have 5 units, it has total weightage of around 23 marks. Then we have inorganic chemistry, unit 6 to 9, containing 19 marks. And then we have organic chemistry, which includes unit 10 to unit 16, having a total weightage of 28 marks. If you go by the previous year papers, you will see that almost 70 to 80% of questions are from the NCERT. So my first advice to all of you is follow the NCERT textbook religiously. Solve all the in-text questions and exercises. Also, if you solve the previous year papers, you will have an idea what type of questions are going to be asked in the exam. Next is, on the day of the exam, you have to reach the center at least half an hour before the reporting time. Then, second advice is you stop studying an hour before the examination because last minute preparations don't help. They just create confusions. And lastly, you believe in yourself, stay calm and confident. Next thing is how to attempt the question paper. You see how you attempt your question paper, how you write your answers, that also matters a lot in scoring above 90 marks or 95 marks in the boards. So here are some tips for making the attempt of the question paper better. See, board gives you 15 minutes for reading the question paper. That 15 minutes should be utilized for reading the question paper thoroughly. Plan during this time how to attempt the question paper. Now you have 1 mark questions. For that I would suggest you just write one word or one sentence. Don't write lengthy answers for 1 mark questions because that will not fetch you even 1.5 mark out of 1 mark. Second is, for any given question, if you have some important points or value points, underline those points. Next advice is leave some space after every question you answer. If you have a question which has subparts like part A, B, C, attempt all the subparts of a question together. If you are not sure of an answer, like you are confused what answer should be for a given question, leave some space for that question and attempt the next question and come back to it later on. Now this is very important here. Almost 12 to 15 marks are for the numerical parts in physical chemistry. And how to solve a numerical, I would suggest you write the values, whatever data is given to you. Then you write the formula used that carries marks. Substitute the values in the formula and finally you calculate the answer with units and box the final answer. Say for example, if you are asked a question in solid state, say calculation of density. So first thing is you write the values given as per the question. Then you use the formula, write the formula say for density, which all of you must be knowing. Then you substitute the values and finally you calculate and write the final answer with units. Units carry half mark for the given numerical. So that's how you will solve the numerical. The most important part for any chemistry student is organic chemistry. If you see the weightage, the maximum weightage is given to organic chemistry, which has almost 28 marks. So here, importantly, the type of questions which are going to be asked in the boards is, firstly, you are asked a question based on IUPAC nomenclature, 1 mark question. You have certain questions based on name reactions. Say, for example, Colles reaction or Wolff-Kishner reduction. So give suitable examples for the name reaction. You also have question based on word problems, say identification of compound A to E. So for that you have to identify the correct compound along with the chemical equations. You are also asked generally a question based on mechanisms. Here I would suggest whatever mechanisms have been given in organic chemistry in your NCRT, you just do that only for your board exam. For doing conversions, you should write all the steps included with proper reaction conditions. And for reasoning questions, give appropriate reasons with structures. Say, for example, some resonance structure, or if you are using some concept, show with the help of suitable structures. And lastly, for the distinction test, say some chemical test for distinction between a pair of organic compounds. I would suggest you make a table first, write the compounds there along with their structure, and then a particular test with chemical equation. Yes, you have to write the chemical equation for the chemical test as well, because that carries marks here. Next is for attempting the inorganic chemistry. First thing is you are asked three types of questions. Firstly, you are asked questions based on reasoning. Second, you are asked questions based on chemical equations or chemical properties. And third type of question are structure based. So while you are answering a question based on reasoning, you give specific answer. Don't beat about the bush, just give the specific answer for a question, and it should not be lengthy answer. Second thing is when you write a question based on chemical equation, remember you have to write the complete balance equation, because unless you write the balance equation, you will lose marks for it. And for question based on structure, draw the relevant structure. That's important here. Structure must be clear. Now this is the most important part here. Like for various chapters given in your NCRT. For each chapter, I'm going to tell you some important topics which you must do for your last minute preparation. Say in solid state, unit 1, you are generally asked, if you see the previous year trend, the generally asked question is based on density calculation. Second important topic here is imperfections in solids. And third is question based on packing in solids. It may be two-dimensional and three-dimensional packing, and numericals based on that part. Next important chapter is liquid solution, which have the important topics as colligative property, all the four colligative properties given in the NCRT, numericals based on that. Then we have questions based on ideal and non-ideal solution along with their graph. And thirdly, we have question based on Van-Hoff factor. Very important topic. And if you see the previous year paper, definitely you are getting a question from this particular topic. From chapter 3, which is electrochemistry, there are questions generally asked based on Nernst equation. Then we have products of electrolysis. We have secondary cells, fuel cells also, and question based on Kohlraasch law of independent migration of ions. From chemical kinetics, we have a very important topic here is first order kinetics. Numericals based on that are the most important part. Then also we have numericals based on Arrhenius equation along with the graph. That's very important here. You should remember, you should go through the graphs as given in your NCRT textbook. From surface chemistry, this is a chapter where you can score easily, but generally students they avoid this chapter, they don't go through this chapter thoroughly. See, in this chapter you have three very important topics. First of all, you have colloids, their classification of colloids, their preparation, and also properties of colloids. Also, one more topic is which is application of colloidal state. So that also some you get 1 marker question from this. Also remember to do all the questions given in NCERT textbook. Now for inorganic chemistry, chapter 6 to 9. First is your based on metallurgical extraction. Second is your P block. Then you have D and F block. And lastly, we have coordination chemistry. See, the maximum weightage is from maximum number of questions are asked from the P block element, which has weightage for almost 8 marks. Then we have D and F block, which has 5 marks weightage. So here, generally, if you see the questions, type of questions, you are asked either questions based on reasoning questions are there. Then you are asked questions based on structure, like draw the structure for a particular compound or an oxo acid or like that. Then also you are asked based on chemical properties of a given compound. Maybe some balance equation are asked, or complete the following reaction, or how will you uh, complete the given equation. So attempt these questions as I have discussed earlier. Next in important is organic chemistry, where we have first chapter as unit 10, which is haloalkanes and haloarenes. In this chapter, generally you get a question based on reactivity for SN1 or SN2 mechanism. Here, you may be given a pair of compound, or you may be given various compounds and arrange them in increasing or decreasing order of reactivity towards SN1 or SN2. Then also we have question based on stereochemistry, say whether the product will have inverted configuration or whether it will have a racemization, and why so. That also is very important topic from this particular chapter. Chapter 11 is alcohols, phenols and ethers. Here generally question is asked based on mechanism of dehydration of alcohols. Very important topic, dehydration of alcohols to alkenes and dehydration of alcohols to ethers. Another mechanism from this chapter is reaction of ethers, especially unsymmetrical ethers with halogen acids. Either you may be asked complete the reaction type questions, or you may be asked suggest a mechanism for the given reaction. We also have questions based on Williamson synthesis, especially synthesis of unsymmetrical ethers. How will you prepare a particular ether, name the reagents and write down the synthesis? And also we can be asked the question based on distinction test between primary, secondary, tertiary alcohols, or maybe phenol cyclohexanol. Remember, for distinction test, always you try to tabulate the things and then write the chemical test for distinction along with the equation. For aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acids, maximum 5 mark weightage is given for this chapter, and generally you get a 5 marker from this chapter, aldehyde ketones and carboxylic acid. It may be a word problem, or maybe you are given a choice for name reactions along with some distinction tests. And sometimes questions are asked based on reasoning also, like order of acidic strength, or arrange the compounds in increasing or decreasing order of pKa values, or maybe reactivity of aldehyde and ketones. That's a very important question. Also the mechanism of nucleophilic addition to aldehyde and ketone. That is also a very important topic from this particular chapter. Next we have unit 13, which is organic compounds containing nitrogen. Here you have amines, and then we have diazonium salts also. So here I would suggest you to prepare for as name reactions. Then we have factors affecting basicity, especially the comparison of primary, secondary and tertiary amines, their order of basicity in vapor phase as well as in aqueous solution. The two orders are different, you should know it. And also comparison of aromatic amines with aliphatic amines. Even you can be asked question of diazonium salt. Its properties, reactions are very important. Then also one more important topic is how to protect the amino group aromatic in aromatic amine, and how to use it for a conversion, particular conversion. That's also a very important topic in unit 13. In the last three chapters, unit 14, 15 and 16, generally students they avoid these chapters or they do it at the last. But remember these are the chapters where you can score maximum marks for organic chemistry. Here generally the questions are straightforward. You are asked questions which you can answer easily. Say from polymers, generally type of questions asked is write the monomers along with the uses of a particular monomer along for a particular polymer. In biomolecules also, the most important topic is carbohydrates, their chemical reactions, their structures, and difference between starch cellulose, structural difference between starch and cellulose. So these type of questions you will find in NCERT textbook. Even if you go through all the questions given in NCERT textbook, that's more than sufficient for these three chapters, and you will fetch very good marks. Believe me, these chapters are very important and you can attempt it very easily and score very good marks here. In the last, I would like to take up questions if you have any. Here, Shubham has asked this question: do we need to attempt the question section wise? Yes, I would suggest that you attempt the question starting from question 1 to question 26 in a sequence. Because while the examiner is correcting the answer scripts, he will mark the questions accordingly. Say if you are attempting 3-mark question in between the 2-mark question, you may lose marks here. Though that's a rare chance, but you should always try to attempt as per given section, as per the weightage of questions. Another question Shubhankara has asked is if reaction mechanism is important. Yes, of course. Here in NCERT, there are 6 or 7 mechanism given in your NCERT textbook. Only you have to do these 6 mechanism. If I name it chapter wise, say chapter 10, you have SN1 or SN2 mechanism. Then for chapter alcohol, phenols, ethers, I have given an important list of topics. So there you can try these mechanism. From chapter 12, you are asked questions based on nucleophilic addition of aldehyde ketones, and its mechanism of nucleophilic addition is important. And likewise in polymers also free radical mechanism is given. So do these mechanism, that's more than sufficient. It's not like IIT you have to do each and every reaction with mechanism. Only those given in NCERT, that's sufficient. You just do these 5-6 mechanism. You will be asked questions based on this. Then another question one student has asked is GOC, general organic chemistry related questions. So you see, GOC has a lot of applications in organic. If you see the questions, type of questions in especially acidic character of carboxylic acids or basic character of amines, these questions are based on concepts which you have learned in general organic chemistry. Unless you know the concepts of general organic, you will not be able to answer these questions. So that's important. But as such, some topics like Huckel's rule and all, they will not be asked here. Yes, we have few more questions coming up. Aditya has asked this question: how to prepare for P block. You see, Aditya, in the P block elements, if you see the type of questions, you will be getting mainly questions based on reasoning. You will be getting questions based on write the correct order of, say, acidic strength or bond enthalpy or any physical property here. So, and also you are asked question, write the chemical equation, which you find it difficult. Generally students, they fail to answer the such questions. So I would suggest focus on reasoning questions, maximum reasoning questions you practice, and along with the questions based on structure or finding the oxidation state. Chemical equations you can write on a piece of paper and revise it on a daily basis. So that's, I think, your answer. Next question, Anmol has asked, previous year questions important? Yes, of course. The previous year questions are important. You must revise at least 5-year paper, last 5 years paper, because sometimes questions are repeated also, and even sometimes the questions are same numerical you may get with different data given. So it's very important you will have an idea what type of questions are asked in the boards. Next question is from Dhruv. How to remember organic reactions? So there is no way out here how to remember the organic reactions. Just you practice as many times you write these reactions, then only you will learn. By the year means throughout the year you have been writing these reactions in the form of conversions or any other way. So unless and until you write these reactions, you will not be able to remember it in the exam. And here, if you have not done it throughout the year, my advice is just do the name reactions. Generally, conversions are from that topic only, and that will help you definitely. Another question is by Sarini, what to do in metallurgy? In metallurgical operations, you are asked questions based on very short questions, especially like what is the role of silica in extraction of copper, or limestone in the extraction of iron, or why alumina is added, alumina is mixed with cryolite in the extraction of aluminium. So these sort of short questions are asked. I would suggest you go through NCRT questions, even the in-text questions. That would be more than sufficient for preparing metallurgical process. And more focus should be given on your refining, process of refining. Refining method, generally you are asked question like what is the principle involved in zone refining process, what is the principle for this thing chromatography. So these sort of questions are asked in the metallurgical process. Yeah, next we have another question from Shivam. Cross aldol condensation important. Is aldol cross aldol condensation important? Yes, it is important. Generally, you are not asked cross aldol condensation with two different aldehyde or ketones both having alpha hydrogen. Generally, you are asked question which has one molecule without alpha hydrogen and another with alpha hydrogen. So you have to practice it. Now, Shubhankara has asked this question, polymer mechanism. Only in NCRT it's given as free radical mechanism, which is important. Cationic or anionic polymer mechanism is not to be done for the boards. Nitish has asked this question, how to remember D and F block reactions. You see, in D and F block acids, there are no reactions except for KMnO4 or dichromate. So preparation and properties of KMnO4, potassium permanganate and dichromate, that's very important here. And you will be getting questions based on this only. Other than that, you are asked questions based on reasoning which you can answer if you know the concept. Then we have question from Siddharth. Can we give approximate answers in numericals? No, I will suggest you better solve it. If you are not good in calculation, use log table and then you write the correct answer with units. That's important here. Jagriti has asked the question whether differentiating compounds are important. Yes, definitely you get a question from distinction test between organic compounds. Even from coordination compounds, you are asked sometimes questions like how will you distinguish between a pair of ionization isomers. So here my advice is while solving question based on differentiating compounds, you do simple test for a particular group. Say for example, remember two tests for phenol or carboxylic acids or for aldehyde and ketones. So you just remember which test is given by aldehyde and not by ketones, or which test is given by alcohol not by phenol. So that way you can prepare these tests. This is very important topic. Dishant has asked the question how to manage time in exam. You see, as per if you answer questions within your word limit, say one word, one marker should be answered in one word or one sentence, then you can complete the paper no in good time, means 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes you can complete your exams. There should not be any problem in attempting the question. Only thing is here the maximum type of questions in CBSE, these are objective type, not subjective type. You are asked even 3 mark question if you are given, that will have questions of 1 mark each, or maybe 2 plus 1. 5 mark question also have 2 plus 2 plus 1 or 3 plus 2. So you are not asked detailed answers for any such questions here. Venu has asked this question whether should I solve the questions from exemplar. See, in CBSE board exam, generally you don't get any such question from exemplar. These are for extra preparation for a IIT mains. So for board exam, I don't think you need to prepare the questions from exemplar. Next question is how to prepare coordination compounds. You see, in coordination compound, the important topic is based on, sometimes you are asked questions based on IUPAC nomenclature. Then you are asked questions based on isomerism, maybe structural or maybe stereoisomerism. And also questions based on valence bond theory or crystal field theory. So accordingly, you prepare this chapter. This is an important chapter because variety of questions can be asked from this. Next is from another question from, are numericals of NCRT sufficient? See the type of questions as given in NCRT, that is more than sufficient. Even you may be asked some question where values are changed or similar type of questions you will get in the boards. So no need to do additional questions. You can see the previous year papers also. Say if 5 questions have been asked in numericals, out of 5, 3 are as such from the NCRT or 4 are from the NCRT only. Next question is by Sarah. She says that what is important topics in solid state. I have already given in my list of topics, important topics from solid state. This is your questions based on density calculation and imperfections in solids. And third important topic is this thing, close packing in solids, two-dimensional as well as three-dimensional. This question is by Kakali. She says tricks for P block. You can have 3 types of questions as I have told earlier also. Reasoning questions, chemical equation based questions, and third is structure based question or finding oxidation state. So maximum weightage is for reasoning questions. Say out if you have 8 marks for P block, you have almost 5 marks or 4 or 5 marks for the reasoning questions only. Then you have 1 or 2 marks for equations and structures. So accordingly you prepare. Ishan has this question, which section to attempt first. It's up to you. You can do 5 marker first or 1 mark question. Some students prefer to follow the order as given in CBSE. That's, I think it's up to you. I won't suggest you have to attempt a particular section first. Next question is by Jeet. He is asking whether purification techniques for colloids are important. Yes, it's sometimes questions are asked based on electrodialysis or other such methods as given in the NCRT. So stick to NCRT. You have to follow NCRT only.
Alright, guys, that's about it. If you have any further questions, you can ask in the comment section of this YouTube video. You'll be able to see the video after the live stream ends on the same link itself. And if you have any further questions or want to see the video again, you're free to do so as many times as you want. That's about it, guys. All the best for your chemistry exam. Hope it helps you as much as it helped you in the physics webinar as well. That's about it. Thanks a lot for being here.